Hi, and welcome to class today. We continue with the balancing poses, and today we will do the dancer pose. So it's a back bend on a balancing pose when you stand on one leg. So let's discover this pose and some other fun variation of the same shape in dancer pose. You need 2 blocks and a strap. This is optional. We will not use strap, but in case it's very hard for you to reach your foot at the end of the class in a stretchy pose, then you should have them nearby. And a pillow. So this one is for the last part of the class today where we're going to stretch. So let's sit down to the floor in a cross-leg position and feel your hip right here on the floor, very stable. And from your hips, your spine grow up very strong and straight. Close your eyes and feel your shoulders stacking right on the top of your hips. And your head is stacking right on the top of your spine and right at the middle of your shoulders. Start finding some sense of balance in this pose. It's very easy here, and it's so easy to keep balance. You cannot fall out of this pose. And stay focused inside your body. So while we're sitting on the floor or on the chair, if we don't focus inside our body, we will lose this position and we will be rounded in our back. Make your back work so that your spine can erect very strongly and straight. And you stay in this pose even when there's a lot of change in your torso when you inhale and exhale. Then let's inhale deeply and exhale, tighten your belly to your spine. Make your breath long, slow and calm, but very powerful. As you inhale, you raise your belly up. And exhale, you tighten your belly in. For one more breath. And slowly open your eyes. Let's push in through your knees and round yourself. Exhale. Then inhale, bring your chest to the front. It's a back bend here. Inhale deeply and exhale, squeeze your belly in this back bend. And then inhale and exhale, round yourself again. Inhale, back bend. Keep the back bend and exhale, tighten your belly button in. Inhale one more time in the back bend. And exhale, round your spine. One more time, inhale, back bend. Exhale, still in the back bend, squeeze your belly in. And still in the back bend, inhale. Exhale, round yourself. And let's bring your hands down to the floor. Let's face the front. Then let's bring your hands behind you. Interlace your finger. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blade in. And then try to lift your hands away from your body. And exhale, bring your hand down. When you inhale, lift your hands up higher. And exhale, bring your hands down toward your body. And one more time, try to squeeze your shoulder blades to each other. Lift your hands up high. Inhale. And exhale, you can bring your hands down. Bring your hands in front of you and bring your legs back into table pose. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, cat pose. So next time you go to cow pose, you stay here and bring your right leg up. Inhale. And exhale, round yourself. Bring your knee to your face. One more time, inhale, right leg up. And exhale, round yourself. Really tuck your belly up. Push through the arms. And one last time, inhale, right leg up. This time, bend your right knee and point your toes toward your head. Use your left arm, bring your left arm back and hold into your right ankle. If you cannot hold your foot, keep reaching them to each other. Lift your knee up high, lift your chest up. If you can hold your foot, kick your leg up higher and raise your heart up too. Take a deep inhale and exhale, squeeze your belly button in and up. One more inhale. And exhale, remove your hand, put your hand down to the floor. Step your right foot forward, low lunge. So inhale, bring your arms over your head. Then you can sink your hip a bit lower when you exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale, bring your hand down to the floor. Step your front foot back in plank pose. Inhale. And exhale, knees down to the floor. Now let's bring only your chest in between your hands and bring your chin down to the floor. So knee, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades to each other and bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Tuck your toes, slowly push up through plank to downward facing dog. And walk your heels on and off the floor in down dog. Push through your hands and raise your hips up really high. To feel your spine lengthening, you have been doing some back bend. And the back bend tend to compress your vertebrae toward each other. So bring your hips up higher and imagine your spine is falling down toward the floor like a waterfall. And inhale, plank pose. And bring both knees down to the floor and prepare for the table pose again. One cat and cow, inhale. And exhale. Then we stay in the cow pose as you inhale. Bring your left leg up this time. Make a big arc with your body. And exhale, left knee to your face. One more time, inhale. And exhale, round yourself very much. It's like a mountain climber pose. Inhale, this time bend your left knee and point your toes toward your head. Use your opposite hand, your right hand, reach your right hand back. And if you find your ankle, kick your leg up higher. So imagine you bring your chest up high and your knee up high at the same time. Take a deep inhale and exhale, squeeze your belly in and up. One more time, inhale and exhale. Hand down to the floor, step your foot forward between your hands. Low lunge pose. You can raise your arms up as you inhale. And you can make your hip go lower as you exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale, hands down to the floor. Step your front foot back into plank pose. Push the floor away from you, round yourself in plank. Inhale. And exhale, knees down to the floor. Chest between your hands. So your belly will not be on the floor this time. And chin on the floor, knee, chest, chin. Squeeze your elbows in toward your body. And then inhale, cobra pose. Squeeze your shoulder blades together and bring your shoulders down away from your ears. Doesn't matter if you are high or low. Round yourself, tuck your belly up through a table pose, plank pose, and downward facing dog. And the same here, let's push through your hands, raise your hips up really high. Take a deep inhale and exhale. And look at the front of your mat between your hands. Step your feet forward toward your hands. Inhale halfway up and stay here so that your head will be as high as your chest. Then you can slowly stand up. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Take a small break in Tadasana pose, the mountain pose. Take a deep inhale. And when you exhale, squeeze your belly in. Now let's slowly open your eyes. You're going to bend your right knee and use your right hand to find your right ankle. Try to keep your knees close to each other. Don't open your right knee out. Bring your left arm over your head and keep your hip and your chest facing to the front. Hide your right arm behind you and dancer pose. So this is already a dancer pose. Of course, we can always make it bigger by kicking your leg back, just like we did on the floor. You can gently bend your standing knee so that it will not be too much for you, and raise your chest forward. Inhale deeply and exhale, tighten your belly in. Try to keep balance in this shape. One more time, inhale and exhale, tighten your belly in. Slowly come back and step your foot down to the floor. Both hands up, squeeze your belly in and sit down into chair pose. So don't make a back bend in chair, tuck your belly in. Inhale and exhale, sit down lower. Inhale and exhale, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Step your right foot back, a long step, high lunge pose. And slowly inhale, bring your arms over your head. Let's bring your tailbone down, so it's like you're doing a cat pose. And stay here, bring your arms behind you, interlace your fingers. Inhale, lift your hands away from you and just stay here. So it's a big back bend on your upper back, but there's no back bend on your lower spine. Inhale deeply and exhale, bring your back foot down to the floor into Warrior 2. Inhale in Warrior 2 and exhale, bring your shoulder toward your knee into Humble Warrior. Now try to touch your palms to each other. You may need to bend your elbows a little bit for that and pull your hands up higher to the sky. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Release your hands and slowly stand up in Warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale, reverse Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. And exhale, extended side angle. Bring your hand down to the floor inside your foot or hold onto a block. Your top arm will be over your head. Inhale. And exhale, both hands down to the floor. So now keep your right hand on the floor. Turn your right heel up into a lunge and open your left arm up. Inhale, twist. Try to pull your left hip back. And exhale, hand down to the floor. Step your front foot back into plank pose. And from plank, knee, chest and chin. If you don't like this pose, feel free to lay down to the floor. When you inhale, cobra pose. Doesn't matter if you go high or low. Bring your shoulder blades to each other and pull them away from your ears. And exhale, squeeze your belly button up to go to plank and downward facing dog. Now let's look at your right toes. Leave your right toes off the floor and they're still pointing down to the floor all the time. Down dog split. Inhale. And exhale, bend your right knee. Touch your right knee toward your right arm. Mountain climber. Step your right foot forward. High lunge. Inhale, bring your arms up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Let's lean yourself forward into high lunge. Warrior 3. One straight line from your head to your heel. And come closer toward the front of your mat. And bring your back leg up. Try not to turn your leg. Try not to turn your hips and your leg out to the left side. Look at a still point on the floor. And arc your spine a little bit like cow pose. And then bend your knees and step your foot down to the floor. Chair pose. Inhale. Squeeze your belly in. Shorten your belly. When you inhale, slowly stand up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. And close your eyes. Take a break here. Then let's lift your right, and then let's bring your left leg up and hold your left ankle with your left hand. Bring your left arm behind you. So imagine if I'm standing in front of you, I will not see it. You're also squeezing your left shoulder blade closer toward your spine and bring your right arm over your head. This is already a dancer pose. You are doing a back bend on your upper back. And you can kick your leg back and raise your knee up higher to make the pose bigger. Look at the focus point and raise your chest forward. So inhale and exhale, tighten your belly in. Inhale and exhale, squeeze your belly in. Then let's slowly get out of this pose. Bring your foot down to the floor, chair pose, opening your knees out a little bit. Inhale in chair and exhale, belly down to your thigh, forward bend. Inhale, halfway up. And exhale, forward bend. Now let's step your left foot back, a long step into high lunge pose. Inhale, bring your arms up. We often make a back bend in high lunge, but don't do it. So curl your tailbone to point down to the floor, shorten your belly. Interlace your fingers behind you. Maybe this time we do it the other way. And touch your palms. So maybe you need to bend your elbows a little bit. Move your shoulder blade closer to make a big back bend on your upper back. And then lift your hands up. Inhale. As far away as you can from your body. Exhale, bring your back foot down to the floor. Into a kind of warrior 2. Inhale here. And exhale, bring your shoulder down to your knee. Humble warrior. You're looking at some point on the floor and your palms are still touching each other and you're pulling your shoulders away from your chest. Take one more breath. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release your hands and stand up straight into warrior 2. Front knee bend, back leg straight. Inhale in warrior 2. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. And exhale, extended side angle. Right hand inside your right foot and top arm will be over your ears. So it's stretching very much on your left side now. Inhale and exhale, bring your left hand down to the floor. Let's bring your left heel up from the floor. So you're in a lunge now. And then bring your right arm up and turn your whole body to the right side in a twist. Pull your right hip back. Inhale. And exhale, hand down to the floor. Step your front foot back, plank pose. Knee, chest, chin, or you can just lay down to the floor. And inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes, round yourself, strong belly into plank and then down dog. Walk your heels on and off the floor a little bit and push your hips high. Imagine your spine being longer. Your hips go up higher. And then look at your left toes. Leave your left foot off the floor, but still pointing your toes down to the floor. Inhale. And exhale, bend your knees. Touch your knee toward your left armpit. And step your left foot forward. High lunge pose. Inhale, slowly stand up. And then hands in front of your heart. Bring your upper body forward to make one straight line from your head to your heel. Step a bit closer, and when you are ready, stand only on your front leg. Make your whole body one straight line from your heel to your head and parallel to the floor. Warrior 3. Inhale and exhale. Then step your foot down to the floor, chair pose. Inhale, open your knees out and exhale. Next time you inhale, stand up and exhale, hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes and take a break in Tadasana. Wait for your body to calm down in the breath, in the heartbeat. And then you will open your eyes. And now you're going to bend your right knee. See if you can hold your right ankle with both of your hands. So you really have to squeeze your shoulder blade to each other. And it's already a big back bend on your upper back. So imagine if I stand right in front of you, I don't see your arms because you're hiding them behind you. Let's inhale and exhale, dancer pose. So kick your leg back, raise your knee up. You can lean yourself forward and look at some point on the floor for this dancer pose. And next thing we're going to do is that you're going to release your leg into Warrior 3. So open your hands and straighten your legs. Bring your arms along your body, reaching your hands back in Warrior 3. And then bend your front knee gently and step your back foot down to the floor, high lunge pose. Inhale and exhale. Bring your back knee down to the floor. Bring your back foot down, high lunge pose. Inhale and exhale. Bring your back foot down to the floor, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. Then turn your chest up to face the sky. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, Warrior 2 again. And exhale, bring your hand down to the floor. Let's find the block with you and put the block in front of your toes. Half moon pose. Step your back foot closer and stand only on your left leg. Let's bring your right leg up into half moon. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Then let's bend your front knee and slowly step back into Warrior 2 as you inhale. And exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. This time let's hold the block underneath your right hand. Raise your back heel off the floor, step a bit closer and straighten your front knee as much as your body allows you to. Maybe you can use a higher side of the block and twist yourself to the left side into a twisted triangle. Of course, you can still bend your front knee a little bit, but pull your left hip back all the time. So it's still stretching you. Take a deep inhale and exhale, twist more. One more time, inhale. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Remove the block to the side. Step your front foot back into plank pose. When you exhale, knee, chest and chin or just lay down to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, round yourself, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Stay here in down dog for several breaths. Inhale, push your hips up higher. Keep your shoulder the same, don't change your shoulder, but imagine your head is growing forward toward the floor. And then look at your right leg. Let's lift your right leg up as you inhale. Then bend your right knee, but don't point it out. So imagine your toes are pointing toward your head. And raise your chest and your head up. So it's a back bend in the down dog. Your head want to reach your toes and your toes want to reach your head. Then bend your knee. Move forward, mountain climber, and step your right foot down to the floor. Inhale, high lunge pose. And exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, triangle pose. So straighten your front leg, move your hands forward, and go down toward the floor in triangle. Turn your chest up to the sky. And then let's bring both hands down to the floor and point your toes toward the left side of the room. Keep your toes pointing inward a little bit. Let's inhale halfway up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale halfway up. Keep your left hand here on the floor. Don't flip your hip to the side. Keep your hip the same and open yourself to the right side. So think of pushing your hip to the left side and open your chest to the right side. Inhale and exhale, twist deeper for one more breath. Then bring both hands down to the floor. Take a deep inhale and exhale, forward bend again. Then inhale halfway up. Keep your right hand here on the floor. Push your hip to the right side as you open your body to the left side. So your hip and your chest go to different direction. For 2 more breaths. And then bring your hands down to the floor. Point your right toes forward and bring your hands to the front of your mat. Step your front foot back. Step your back foot forward. Inhale halfway up. Now we're going to stay here in halfway up and we find the blocks in front of you. We be ready for warrior 3. Bring your right leg up. So warrior 3, we have been doing this before. But now, see if you can bend your right knee and point your right toes toward your head. Raise your chest up and bring your right hand to hold your foot. And stay here. So don't flip yourself. Maintain in warrior 3. Always turning your hips down to look at the floor and raise your knee up higher. Now a challenge here. See if you can kick your leg up so much and make your back so strong that you can leave your hands from the block and go to dancer pose. If you can't, just listen to your strength right now and take it really slow. And after dancer, step your foot down to the floor. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, mountain pose. Close your eyes. Then take long, deep breath. Take a break. That was a lot of movement. Once you feel calm and steady again in your body, let's open your eyes and move the blocks to the side. So we're going to do dancer pose with your left leg up. Bend your left knee, hold your left ankle with your left hand and try to hold it with your right hand too. So squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other, really hide your arms behind you. Raise your chest up and forward. So it's already a big back bend here on your upper back. And then let's kick your leg back and bring yourself parallel to the floor, just like in warrior 3. Feel your legs being really strong. If you feel like you cannot kick your foot up, just keep raising your knee up and back and feel the stretch at the front of your left thigh. Now what we do is that we're going to let go of your leg and make it straight into a warrior 3 with your arm along your body. Inhale here. And then slowly bend your front knee and land your back foot down to the floor into high lunge. And inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior 2. So open yourself to the side and arms out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Then turn your chest up towards the sky. So take a deep inhale and exhale. Warrior 2 again as you inhale. And exhale, hand down to the floor, extended side angle pose. Then inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. And now half moon pose. So find the block with you, put it in front of your toes, step your back foot forward. You can still look down to the floor and raise your leg up in half moon. Stay balanced here for 2 more breaths. And then let's bend your front knee gently. Then let's bend your front knee gently and step your back foot down to the floor. Warrior 2, inhale. And exhale, both hands down to the floor. Bring your back heel up and hold the block with you here. Keep your left hand on the block. Step a bit closer and straighten your right knee as much as you can. And bring your right arm up to the sky into a twisted triangle pose. You can pull your right hip back. And turn yourself more to the side whenever you exhale. For 1 more breath. And then let's bring your hand down to the floor. Move the block away. Step your front foot back into plank pose. From plank, knee, chest and chin, or you just lay down to the floor. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stay here in down dog for several breaths. When you inhale, push your hips up higher. And exhale all through your nose. 1 more breath, inhale. And exhale. Now lift your left leg up. And then bend your left knee. Don't open your left knee out. Point your toes toward your head and raise your chest up. So you are raising your head toward your toes too. Of course you cannot touch them today. But imagine they are reaching to each other. And then bend your left knee and touch to your left arm, mountain climber. And step your left foot forward. And high lunge pose. So inhale, raise yourself up in high lunge. And exhale, warrior 2. Bring your arms out here, inhale. And exhale, reverse warrior. Inhale, warrior 2. Straighten your front knee. Exhale, triangle pose. You can hold a block here and open your top arm over your head. Keep reaching and stretching you on the right side. And let's bring both hands down to the floor and hold a block with you. Turn your toes toward the right side and point your toes inside a little bit. So you decide yourself here that which distance between your feet make you feel stable here. If you are too far away, maybe it's tiring, but you are too close, maybe you cannot forward bend so low. And the point is not to put your head on the floor, that will come later. But now let's bring your left hand to hold your right ankle or your right shin bone. And now pull your left arm, so bend your left elbow, imagine you want to bring it down to the floor. Your right hand will hold the block. You will push the block away from you and pull with your left arm and bring your head underneath your arm to the right side. And do this while you bring your hip to the other side. So your hip go to the left side, which means the opposite side to your chest now. And take some deep inhale and exhale here. And slowly find your way to come back. Inhale halfway up. Keep your head as high as or higher than your chest so that you will not feel dizzy. So this happens to people with low blood pressure or, for example, me. I often feel very dizzy when I bring my head low for a long time. So when you already open your eyes and use your right arm to hold your left leg, you can hold anywhere on your shin bone, on your ankle, and pull. So you bend your right elbow. Imagine you want to bring your right elbow to the floor, and your hip already going to the right side now. Then your left hand hold the block, push it away from you. So your hand is pushing the block away, but pulling the leg, and bring your hip to the right side, which means the opposite side to your face now. Bring your face underneath your armpit and keep pulling with your arm holding the leg and keep pushing the block away. Imagine you want to turn your whole chest underneath your armpit and take really long and slow inhale and exhale. You should feel some stretch underneath your shoulder blade on your back. Keep pulling with your right arm and pushing with your left arm. For one more breath. And then slowly get out of this pose. Raise your head up high and find your way to the front of your mat. So bring your left toes to point forward. Alright, step your back foot forward into forward bend. Let's inhale halfway up. And then slowly stand up as you inhale with your arms over your head. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. The mountain pose. You can keep your hands here in the prayer sign or along your body and take a long rest. So many people like me feel very dizzy when I bring my head down and then up. That's why we need to take it slow. We stay halfway with your head as high as your chest before we stand up straight. So nothing dangerous. We just take it slower because our body needs longer time to adapt. And take a long break. Remember to drink water and get yourself hydrated too. Because if you are thirsty and dehydrated, it could be worse with the dizziness. So stay here and take long, slow and deep breath to make yourself calm down in the body, in the mind, in your head and in the blood circulation. And once you are ready, you can slowly open your eyes. So now we're going to do the dancer pose with your right leg up. Hold your right leg with your right arm and hide your right arm behind you. Bring your left arm over your head and try to kick your right leg back very much. You can start leaning yourself forward. Make a big dancer pose, bigger than what you did before. And now we're going to release your leg and bring your hands in front of you into Warrior 3. So let's kick your right heel back and reach both hands in front of you. Squeeze your belly up as you exhale. And then bend your front knee and slowly step back into high lunge pose. Inhale here. And exhale, Warrior 2. Bring your arms out. Inhale. And when you exhale, reverse Warrior one more time. Keep your hip low and stretching the side of your body. Inhale, Warrior 2. We're going to do half moon pose. So hold the block with you. Put it in front of you. And we do half moon. And this time we're going to make it look like dancer pose. So first you go to half moon. You turn in your chest and your hips to the side. Then you bend your right knee and hide your right leg behind you. Bring your right arm behind you too. And keep reaching your hand to your foot until you find it. So optional, if you cannot find your hand and your foot, keep reaching them to each other or use a strap. This pose is really hard. If you fall out of the pose several times, I'm falling out too, and don't look at me, but look at some point on the floor that is not moving. And turn your hips to the side and try to kick your knee and your heel behind you. Try to bring your knee and your heel behind you. Try to bring your heel behind. Okay, so this pose is really hard. Let's slowly get out of this pose, half moon, and then go back into Warrior 2. Let's straighten your front knee. Triangle pose, push your hips back and bring your hand down toward the floor. You can hold the block here with you or keep your hands down to the floor. Inhale, bring your right arm over your ears and keep reaching. And exhale for one more breath. Inhale and exhale. Now bring your right hand down to the floor. Change your back leg position so that your hip is now facing the front of your mat. We're going to do twisted triangle. You can hold a block with your right hand and open your chest toward the left side. Pull your left hip back and up. You can stay here, or if you want more in this pose, hold the block with you with your right hand and put it outside of your front foot. So it's a bit harder here with a twisted triangle. Always pulling your left hip back and up for 2 more breaths. And then slowly find your way to come back to the front. Inhale halfway up and exhale. Step your front foot back into plank pose. So take a break and child's pose. Open your knees wide so that you can rest your torso between your legs. And rest your head on the floor or on your arms or on a pillow. And slowly go to downward facing dog. And exhale. Stay in down dog for several breaths. Push your hips up higher and higher towards the ceiling. And then bring your right leg up, inhale. And then step your right foot forward, high lunge pose. Inhale, bring your arms over your head. And exhale, bring your arms behind you and ready to go to Warrior 3 from here. Lean yourself forward and slowly come to Warrior 3. And now the challenge is to bend your knee and point your toes toward your head. See if you can hold your ankle with one hand is fine, whichever hand. But you can try if you can hold with both hands. Keep your chest raising up and your knee raising up too. And then slowly get out of this pose, so bend your knees so that you can stand up easier. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands in front of your heart. Close your eyes. Find your calm and slow breath again. That was a lot of balancing poses and back bend. And these two kind of poses are very heating for the body. Check in with your low back, squeeze your belly button in. If you feel like you are not so well or painful in your low back when you do deep back bend, don't do deep back bend. Often we try to open the upper back rather than the lower back in the back bend. And then slowly open your eyes. So let's do dancer pose, bending your left knee, Hold your left hand into your left ankle and hide your left arm behind you. Bring your right arm over your head. Kick your leg back and raise your chest forward. You can lean forward too and look at a still point in front of you. Take about 3 breaths here. Yeah. Don't look at me, look at your focus point. And then bring both arms over your head, straighten your legs. Warrior 3. And then bend your front knee and step back into high lunge. Inhale. And exhale, Warrior 2. Inhale in Warrior 2. Exhale, Reverse Warrior. Inhale, Warrior 2. And exhale, Half Moon pose. So this time we do Half Moon with a challenge of bending your knee. Bring the heel behind you. And bring your arm behind you to hold the heel. So if this pose is extremely hard for you to keep balance today, bring the block a bit to the right side. That would help a little bit. Once you're in Half Moon, bend your knee, hide your heel behind you. And then bring your arm behind you too and try to find your foot. If you cannot find your foot, keep reaching. Do the back bend a little bit until you can hold into your ankle. So now your leg and your arms are behind you again, just like in dancer pose. And once we are here, we can slowly get out of this pose. And so tiring in my legs. Warrior 2. Straighten your front leg and triangle pose. Inhale deeply and exhale, bring your top arm over your head. Then bring your hands down to the floor and change your back leg position so that you are now in a triangle, in a pyramid pose. Use a block to support underneath your left hand. Pull your right hip back and start turning to the right side. Bring your right arm up, twisted triangle pose. So always pulling your right hip back. Feel stretching on the outside of your right hip. If you want more, bring the block with you and put it outside of your front foot. And then let's bring your hands down to the floor and step into plank pose. Knees down, chest and chin. Inhale, cobra pose. And exhale, child's pose. Open your knees wide and rest your belly between your thighs. Now in child's pose, let's walk your hands toward the right side. And especially your left hand, bring it more and more to the right side. Feel the stretch happening on your left side. And anytime you have a chance, bring your left arm further to the right side. And bring your arm back to the center. And we walk to the left side. Walk your left hand, walk your right hand more and more toward the left side. And find the stretch on your right side. And slowly find your way back to the center. And get ready to go to downward facing dog. So inhale, bring your left leg up. And exhale, step your left foot forward. Inhale, raise yourself up in high lunge. So prepare the blocks here. We're going to do Warrior 3. Bring your left leg up in Warrior 3 and bend your left knee. Point your left toes toward your head. Then keep reaching your hands behind you until one of the hands hold the foot. So, or even both hands. Raise your knees up and raise your chest up at the same time and stay here for only 1 or 2 more breaths. Try to keep balance and slowly get out of this pose. Stand up as you inhale and exhale, take another break. So basically you can sit down to the floor and wait for the cool down now, but I would like to invite you to do a challenge. So if you don't want to take it, you feel tired, this is enough, you can just sit down and wait for me to cool down. Otherwise, we're going to do this fun transition. So we will go from half moon pose. We will hold the foot. And then we will turn your hip down to the floor. And raise your chest up so much that you can lift your arms up. And into dancer pose. Warp. Yes, like this. And get out of this pose. So if you want to take the challenge with me, let's do that. I'm going to bend my right leg, hold onto my foot. I'm going to bring my left hand on the block and turn myself to the right side for the half moon pose. You know, can put the block a bit to the left side so that it's easier to keep balance and find the ankle. So once we are here, let's turn your hips down toward the floor and slowly stand up into dancer pose. And then get out of this pose, give your legs some shaking and change side. So let's hold your hand on the block and you can put it a bit to the right side so it's easier for you to keep balance. Bring your left arm behind you, waiting for the foot. We do this in dancer pose first. And then we bring your hips down to face the floor. And raise yourself up so that you can get your arms up into dancer pose. And then bring your foot down to the floor. Give your legs some nice shaking. So that's the challenge. Let's bring the blocks out to the side and go to table pose. Let's inhale and exhale. Go to table pose. Now we're going to bring a pillow and put your left knee on the pillow. Bring your right foot forward and find the block with you. So keep your hips sinking down toward the floor and stay here. So you're holding your arms into the blocks so your hip can relax. And every time you exhale, your hip can go a bit lower toward the floor. Take a few breaths. Take a few more breaths. And tell your hip to relax. And slowly walk your blocks toward the front of your mat and move your hip back into a half split. You can move your hip forward and backward gently. And then we will try the Anjaneyasana pose again with your hands next to your hips with the blocks. Once you are here, let's bend your left knee, point your toes toward your head, and see if you can hold your ankle with one hand. So whichever hand is fine. Or maybe you can even hold with both hands. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. It's a back bend in your upper back. So your chest are growing forward. And try to pull your heel a bit closer toward your buttock. This is very extreme for the knee, so you don't have to hold it for long. Let's slowly get out of this pose. And change leg. Prepare the pillow under your right knee. And step your left foot forward. Keep your hip going low and bring the blocks next to your hips. Close your eyes. Just stand here with your arms mostly so that your hips can relax. And every time you exhale, you can bring the hip a bit lower toward the floor. So if you bend your back knee, the lower your hip is toward the floor, the less your knee will be pressing down to the floor. And then let's walk your blocks to the front, move your hip back and bring your hip forward and backward continuously. You can go to half split if you want and get out of it. Then we will do Anjaneyasana again. Prepare your blocks next to your hip. Sink your hip low. This time we bend your right knee, point your right toe toward your head. You can just stay here or you can find your hand to the ankle. Whatever hand is fine. And if you can do it with both hands, then awesome. Squeeze your shoulder blades to each other and stay here. You don't have to stay here for long at all. Just feel the stretch and compare your sides. So to me, my left side feel like tighter than my right side. Then you can get out of this pose and bring both legs in front of you. Sit down to the floor. Lean yourself back and give yourself some nice shaking forward bend. You can bring the blocks. You can bring the pillow underneath your knees in the forward bend. You can use a longer pillow. Bring your belly on the top of your thigh and hold your ankle or your feet. Relax your head. To get out of this pose, slowly bring your head up. You can move the pillow to the side and hug your knees toward your chest as you lay down to the floor. Bring your feet down to the floor. Let's hug your right leg toward your chest and straighten your left leg on the floor. Then bring your right leg to your left side and put it on the ground. Open your right arm to the right side. If you feel like your arm is lifted up and you cannot reach the floor, put a pillow underneath your arm. Stay here for the twist. Keep breathing long and slow, and feel the right side of your body is being opened. Twisting is very efficient as counter poses for backbend. Then let's slowly find your way back. And this time, straighten your right leg. Bring your left knee toward your chest. Bring your left knee to the right side and use your right hand to keep it on the floor. Then open your left arm out to the left side. If you cannot reach the floor, you can put your arm on a pillow or on a cat like I'm doing now. Close your eyes. And just relax. Let go of your shoulders. The gravity is pulling your shoulder down to the floor and therefore doing the stretch for you. Feel your breath slow down. And slowly come back to the center. Straighten your legs in Savasana. And if you have a big curve in your lower spine, in your lumbar spine, your lower back, I suggest you put your knees onto a pillow so that your lower back can rest on the floor. Open your palms, face them up to the sky. And take a long rest here. So it has been a lot of twisting, stretching at the side and back bending. Rest on the floor and feel how your breath is slowing down. Every time you exhale, feel how your spine is going down. Feel how your spine is resting more and more toward the floor. You can lift your hips up and move it away from your shoulders. And move your arms and your legs away from you too. Feel how your muscles are melting down to the floor. I will get out of this pose and finish the class, but feel free to stay here because you need a long rest after all these powerful standing poses. Resting on the floor, and take all the time you need to recover. Thank you very much and see you in the next class. Namaste.